In his teenage years, Rafael Nadal began to stand out. At that time, the Spanish Tennis Association proposed training at the National Training Center with full support. However, rejecting the association's support, Nadal aligned with his uncle Tony and focused his training on clay courts. Uncle Tony's choice to focus on clay courts, which maximized young Nadal's left-handed forehand and spin advantages, is what has made Rafael Nadal a tennis legend today. These days, there is a player who is severely shaken, having dropped to world number 5, after being eliminated in the third round of the Italian Open, and in the 2025 Roland Garros French Open, her first serve percentage fell to 53%, losing to Sabalenka. She is referred to as the female Rafael Nadal, Iga Swiatek. There is growing interest in whether she, who has already achieved a 4-time Grand Slam victory at Roland Garros, will return to her peak or continue to decline. Iga Swiatek is from Warsaw, Poland, and was born in 2001. In 2020, she won the French Open, becoming the first Polish player to win a Grand Slam singles title. She then went on to win the French Open again in 2022, 2023, and 2024, totaling 4 French Open titles. In addition, she won the US Open in 2022, achieving a total of 5 Grand Slam titles. Swiatek maintained the WTA World Ranking #1 from 2022 to 2024, becoming the 9th player in history to hold the top spot for over 100 weeks. She is known for her powerful forehand, solid defensive skills, and excellent mental management. In particular, through collaboration with sports psychologists, she is enhancing psychological stability and concentration to maximize her performance. In fact, Swiatek grew up in a family passionate about sports, and his father, Tomasz Swiatek, was a rowing athlete who competed in the 1988 Seoul Olympics. She started playing tennis at the age of 5, and has quickly risen to become a world-class player since making her WTA Tour debut in 2019. Iga Swiatek is gaining attention not only for her outstanding performance, but also for her introverted personality and her pursuit of a balanced life through stress management activities like reading and building with Lego. What is her greatest strength? Iga Swiatek's greatest strengths can be summarized in 3 main points. 1. Her overwhelming skill on clay courts. Swiatek shows an almost unbeatable performance, especially on clay courts, winning the French Open 4 times 2020, 2022, 2023. 2024 proves this, showcasing a tactical understanding and movement on clay that can be compared to Rafael Nadal. High topspin, deep returns, and stable sliding movements shine on clay courts. 2. Mental stability and concentration are also key. She developed psychological resilience by continuously collaborating with sports psychologist Daria Abramovitz. Even during matches, she meticulously controlled her breathing, managed her routines, and regulated her emotions, which shone through in crisis situations. This mental strength became a key factor in maintaining consistent performance in long tours and Grand Slams. 3. A perfect balance between offense and defense. She leads the match with her powerful forehand, while also being adept at defense with agile footwork and slices. In particular, her quick judgment and court coverage are very effective in breaking the opponent's rhythm and regaining control during rallies. What could be the reason she is particularly strong on clay courts? Nadal's forehand averages around 3,200 to 3,400 RPM, which is considered very high even among male players. According to some analyses, e.g., based on the 2022 French Open, Swiatek recorded an average forehand spin of over 3,500 RPM. This is not only unusual for female players, but also an extremely high figure across the entire tour. High RPM makes the ball's trajectory steeper, causing it to bounce deeper and sharper after hitting the ground. Especially on clay courts, this effect is maximized, becoming a key weapon that makes it difficult for opponents to return. Just as one of the reasons Nadal became the king of clay courts is this high topspin, Swiatek is similarly dominating the French Open with a comparable weapon. Because of these commonalities, Swiatek is often referred to as the female Rafael Nadal. However, in terms of technical perfection and mental management, her unique style and evolution are also distinct. This is why she is regarded as one of the most accomplished female players in modern tennis. Beyond simply being a player who resembles Nadal, what could be her biggest flaw? Iga Swiatek's biggest flaw is that despite her overall performance and career being very well structured. There are relative weaknesses. 1. Lack of consistency on hard courts. While Swiatek is overwhelming on clay courts, she tends to show relatively weaker performance on hard courts. While she has a 2022 US Open victory, she has shown struggles on faster courts in other hard court Grand Slams, Australian Open, and some WTA 1000 events. On hard courts, the speed of the ball and low bounces can neutralize her spin-oriented play, and she can be overwhelmed by big hitters. There are also limitations in her ability to transition to offense. Swiatek excels in racket control and structured rallies, but there are times when her tactical transition plan B is not clear when the match is not going well. For example, if the opponent applies pressure quickly with flat shots or breaks the tempo with net play, there are times when one cannot change their own attack pattern and ends up being pushed back. This can lead to an evaluation that the play is somewhat monotonous in terms of quickly reading the situation and providing play that introduces changes. 3. It is isolated immersion rather than emotional suppression during the match. Swiatek has a strong immersive tendency to focus inward during matches. He is mentally stable, but sometimes shows signs of being easily shaken by external factors: crowd, weather, opponent provocations, etc. 4. His net play and volleying skills are average. Swiatek mostly controls the game from the baseline. The net play and volleying are somewhat limited, which can be a weakness as it means there aren't many diverse attacking routes. There is a possibility of being exposed to weaknesses against relatively traditional serve and volley players or multi-pattern players. These weaknesses can also be seen as an opportunity for Swiatek, who is still young, 24 years old as of 2025, to evolve further. And in fact, the fact that she seems complete yet still has room for development makes her an even more formidable presence. Then what can we amateur players learn? The key elements that amateur tennis players can learn from Iga Swiatek are fundamental aspects like posture, routine, mental strength, and strategic attitude, rather than just simple techniques. Swiatek strictly adheres to her routine before every point. For example, activities like wiping the ball, deep breathing, and focusing your gaze can help. Enthusiasts can create their own simple routines to greatly assist in emotional control and regaining concentration after making mistakes. For example, before serving, bounce the ball twice, breathe. Fix your gaze on the target. Serve with rhythm. 2. The importance of mental training. Swiatek trains the mind in collaboration with sports psychologists. Even if you make mistakes, not blaming yourself and focusing on the mental reset habit for the next point makes a bigger difference than skill. 3. It's about forehand stability and topspin. She hits her forehand strongly, but ensures to apply enough spin to reduce mistakes. Even at the amateur level, a topspin shot that falls steadily is much more advantageous in a match than speed. Let's practice a consistent loop trajectory and follow through the feeling of pulling the racket towards your ear on your forehand. 4. The importance of feet and rhythm. The player always thoroughly performs a split step and rhythm preparation before hitting the ball. Many amateur players often have their feet stopped before hitting the ball, which is a major cause of errors. The moment the ball comes, if you make it a habit to do a split step, a light jump with both feet and then move, your accuracy will greatly improve. 5. It is responsiveness tailored to the opponent's style. She quickly analyzes the opponent's weaknesses and pressures them with the same pattern. During matches, enthusiasts should develop the habit of observing whether, is the opponent's backhand weak? Or are they weak against lobs, and adjust their attack patterns accordingly. Playing with the mindset of, how can I win, rather than just focusing on simple rallies, leads to faster growth. While it's difficult for enthusiasts to hit like a Swiatek, anyone can train to think and move like one. Swiatek can be described not just as a player with exceptional skills, but as a well-rounded athlete, excelling in technique, mental strength, strategy, and attitude. These factors, despite some fluctuations in rankings lately, are what make her the current world top-ranked player and the centerpiece of the next generation of women's tennis. Just as watching tennis is as important as playing it, watching Swiatek's matches undoubtedly provides our club members with homework and hints. There is tennis that is visible as much as you see. Today as well, please send your subscription TennisGo story.